So
Okay. Yeah.
for those of you watching, listening, welcome to Big Face. I'm your host, Samantha Jane Tilton, and my guest today is Clem McIntosh, filmmaker, actor, all around good dude.
Hey. Well, thanks for the warm welcome. That's great.
Welcome.
Yeah.
And I haven't talked to Clem or seen Clem in a while,
It has been a
and
long time.
it
Yeah.
has. And due to Corona's a lot of things, and it's not necessarily an easy time, but it did link us together. Like it's been
Yeah.
another reason to reach out and connect with other people that I normally probably wouldn't. You're not on the same page. Where are you right now?
Yeah. I found myself doing the same actually. I got out of New York. I'm lucky enough that I grew up in Canada, in New Brunswick, which is like a small province for anybody who doesn't know, just above Maine, in between Quebec and Nova Scotia. And I grew up on a farm here, so yeah, essentially, as soon as de
Back at the
Blasio
farm.
sent that tweet where he was like, some of you may not work for 6 months, I was like, oh, anybody in the entertainment industry, that means like longer, because like we're going to be the last people going back to work.
Because even
And
regularly, it could be like 6 months, depending. Like,
yeah,
so through this,
exactly. Yeah, this is going to be even worse. So yeah, so immediately I was like, oh, get me out of here. So I just actually like that morning after that, it was like a Friday, I just like threw all my stuff into a bag. I rented a car, drove to Bangor,
wow.
Maine, and my dad picked me up there. It's like 2.5 hours drive back home, and been here ever since. Hardly even left the farm. It's very self-sustaining here. Like my mom has a big garden, so she freezes all the vegetables, and we got 2 deep freezes just full of stuff. So yeah,
It's
I've
like
always thought, if there's an apocalypse,
this is where I'm going. This is kind of
well, here
apocalyptic.
I am. Yeah. Yeah.
You're really lucky. I told you I live in Queens, and it's like
Yeah.
I live right off of
Okay.
Queens Boulevard, which is like there's more than four. There's like 6 lane, or like no more than that with the side ones. There, it is such a crazy busy road, and like I go out now. I went out a couple weeks ago. I go out like once a week, but it was a couple weeks ago, and then going out in the evening, just like one ambulance going down Queens Boulevard. There's like one person down Queens Boulevard there. It's like one person was just riding their bike just down Queens Boulevard because there's no cars.
Wow.
It was like,
Yeah.
and garbage just blowing in the street.
Wow.
It was like, it really felt like Walking Dead kind of stuff.
Just a great time to play street hockey. That's where my mind goes.
Is that the Canadian in you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Perfect.
It's
Street
actually,
hockey. You could play street hockey on like the 495.
that's you
Like,
right now. You
right
really
on the
could.
bridge. Like,
I was trying to.
epic game.
You should come back. We should get that going.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Tell me, we were connecting the other day. Tell me.
Yeah.
So, all right. So people that don't know, we met in acting class in Anthony Abson's class. That was a lot of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, like what, 6, 7 years ago?
Probably, right?
Something like that. We see each other every once in a while.
Right.
I don't know if you're still working with Stacy, but
Yeah. Yeah. So
from time to time.
freelance. So for those
Yeah.
of you, because those of you that don't know, I'm a casting director and an actor. And like we've talked about, we wear many hats, kind of.
Yeah.
Even how to introduce you as filmmaker or actor. It's kind of like we were saying,
Yeah.
like, what
Yeah,
have
it's
I
a
been doing
long
more
list
of?
Yeah. Yes.
Tell us, what's the long list of things that
Oh, yeah.
before
well,
all this? What was your life looking like?
before all this, well, yeah, just to go back to it, give you a little knowledge into what I went to school for theater in Quebec. I did classical theater for 4 years at Bishop's University once I got out of high school. Then from there, I moved to New York. And yeah, and I think like, I kind of wanted to pursue acting, but we also had my mom had a producer friend she grew up with who got me into PAing on a couple of movies. And then I was like, oh, well, I don't want to be a PA. That I know. And I just want to pursue acting.
It's a hard gig being a PA.
Yeah. Yeah.
The hard gig.
Yes. And I was working like
Respect
as
to
an
all the
additional.
PAs,
I have the hugest respect for
right?
PAs, and I
For
always treat
real.
them like gold. Yeah.
Because you're a
I've,
generous,
I've,
nice actor.
well, I've also been there, and I've been that guy who's
I
getting
know.
people coffees, and yeah,
Being crapped on all day. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
exactly. And then from there, I met somebody while on set who then, like a year later, just kind of called me up for a job, just a day player thing as a utility, working on working for Time Magazine,
Mm.
just doing video content for them. And then I just got into that, and I started working as a gaffer. And so I've been doing that ever since,
Yeah.
side by side with the acting, kind of. I never really did the waiting tables thing, and I got nothing against it, but it's not really
Got
my
not what
thing.
it's amazing. That's beautiful. Thank God.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everybody has to.
I
That's the
think
thing.
I also just think I'm not cut out for it. Like, I grew up on a farm, my dad's a potato farmer.
Yeah,
I like working with my hands, so I need to do something like that. And like, that's what lighting for me is. You're playing with lights and you're
that
fixing
makes
things and
sense.
you're
Yes,
problem solving. And yeah, and
that
then
makes
so
sense.
from there, I also got into DPing, and alongside that, on the other side, as well as the acting, I've always been directing and producing a lot of my own work, and then editing as well, and writing,
So
and
you
just kind of
really,
everything.
you don't really know how to do much of anything then, huh?
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
nothing.
I mean, it gets overwhelming, really, because you kind of don't know. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I got my hands in too many pots, but
I
I
know.
also I kind of like doing a lot of things. I've always been interested in a lot of different things, not just acting, or I
Right.
don't want to pigeonhole myself to one thing. So
Well, it's funny because I totally get that. I started because my dream was always to be an actor. That's been my
hmm,
dream since I was a kid. But it's been through, and so for those of you that don't know, I'm a casting director also, and that's also how I see Clem when I'm, running auditions and stuff, or just in waiting rooms when I'm running something, he's at something else. But I realized through being a casting director that I love directing.
yeah,
And I would have had no idea, but the joy I get from and teaching. Now I've been teaching acting too, and the joy, like until you do these things, until you explore, and I'm interested in all of it. There's so much in this business.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. Like yeah. There's just yeah. I don't want to just be one thing, and like you too. It's yeah.
And you've been so okay. I was gonna. You talked when we touched base the other day. You mentioned something else, but I want to say so. Before all this happened, so because
Yes.
a lot of what I want this to be and why I decided to do this after
Mhm.
deciding not to do my podcast because of all this Corona stuff is for all of our people, artists, creative people out there to realize that they're not alone and that how this affects them. And so I kind of want to hear what it was like before this happened, what it felt like when this happened and how it's been since.
Hmm. Well,
No
I
pressure.
guess I guess what it was like before it happened. I've had like a backlog of projects. I've got four shorts that are in the can that I directed that are just kind of have been waiting to be edited. And I didn't ever
Congrats.
foresee ever getting to that, like
Wow.
they've been, it's already been like a year and a half on them. So yeah, so I never really felt myself ever getting to them. So I found this to be a bit of a blessing in terms of actually getting to the work that I really feeds my soul. I
Yeah.
feel like
Hmm.
I've never really felt cut out to live in a city, and especially not New York. But I find myself there just because this is the kind of work I
Way
want
to
to
go.
do. So being back here, it's allowed me to kind of reconnect with my creative self in a way, and not feel that like pressure to work all the time,
Yeah.
and the shoots and stuff that pop up. So it's been like a nice resetting of like what's important for me.
Yeah.
um I
Totally.
yeah, I've actually been annoyingly pretty kind of productive through it, which I didn't feel myself as productive before.
Yeah.
I felt myself kind of overwhelmed by the noise. There's so much stuff.
Before
And I know,
this all happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I know there's a lot of writers actually that have a tough time working in New York. You know, Tennessee Williams always worked in Key West. He was like, I can't work in this city, you know. So he never actually
Hmm.
wrote anything in New York.
Wow.
Um, but he would just go there because that's the place to be, and you're in the scene.
Yeah,
So not that I'm at all comparing myself to
yeah.
Tennessee Williams,
Sure,
but
sure.
but no. But I have
No, I
found
hear
like
you.
I've reconnected with like what's important with me to me, you know, and that's been the blessing through all this. Uh, the hard part I've found is like, you know, future thinking. I'm writing a pilot right now with a friend of mine
I
who's
wanted to
in
ask you
Queens
about
as
that.
well.
He
And
he what
what's
as
that?
well, did you say?
He's in Queens as well. He's
Oh,
stuck
he
in
is.
Queens. He's a writer friend who's
Just
there. And
shoved inside.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I've been future thinking in a way that's
Yeah.
probably not helpful. But yeah, because like I'm writing this high concept pilot, and I'm like, who's gonna buy this at the end of this all, you know? And
Yeah.
but maybe it's also allowed me to like kind of look at it in more of a, well, I'm enjoying the process, so why not just do it? As opposed to, usually I think when I'd be writing something in New York, I would be a little more concerned with like, how am I going to produce this? I got to like think of something in one location. It's easy to produce, you know.
Right.
So this
That
has allowed me to.
that kind of I want to ask you, but I get that because every time I go to attempt something or I have an idea for something, all of that noise of like, but then the location or then this and all this stuff, it's like it deters me from the simplicity of just the idea starting
Yeah,
there. And if I get to that part, I'll deal with it then. But it's hard to do that.
yeah, yeah.
And
No, I know.
you were saying with the writing, you're like writing this, you're having a hard time with like the future thinking, you said?
Um, yeah, I guess. I mean, it crosses my mind from time to time. Like it
Yeah.
crosses my mind, like, wow, like this could totally just be a waste of my time. But a part of me is like really actually just
Mm.
enjoying the process and being like re-engage with my creative self, that I'm actually kind of letting that go more than I normally do, because like normally I'm pretty like in my future's thoughts, which is not
Anxiety and
helpful.
fear.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I know it well.
Yeah. So yeah, so even though I have no idea where this is going to land our industry, I feel like, you know, we're really
I know.
kind of swinging for the fences on this project, that you know, it's a good time to kind of swing for the fence, just because when else will I
I know.
kind of be able to, you know, in this way? It's like a pause. Everything's on pause, and I'm like, okay, I can actually like just write this thing because I've got time, and you know, I don't have all these other things that would normally take up my time.
That's a I kind of got choked up for a second. It's awesome and really beautiful. And I said it to you the other day. I'm really happy for you that you're in that space and that you're on the farm. That's a really beautiful place to be right now.
Yeah, no, I feel so lucky, and I think it's like being here that has like reconnected me to that side of myself, you know, because like I've always felt way more comfortable in the woods
Me too.
than in the city, you know. I just it's never felt right, you know.
It's funny, like even just looking at your wood walls, like
Yeah.
behind, like, like you said, like you're in New York because you find yourself, that's what you're doing. And it's really, I think I haven't found another place to be unless it's going to be New York or LA to be doing this work.
Yeah, yeah,
And both those places, while I'm a New Yorker, they're so not me. I like
yeah,
being outside. I like going camping. I like it being simple. And
yeah,
New York is so noisy. In my head, it makes it noisy, and externally, you know?
yeah, yeah. I find the same thing, and it's very creatively stifling, you know. How
Yeah.
can you really like connect to your authentic self when you're kind of in this noisy environment where you're constantly being distracted and pulled one way and then pulled another way, and you got appointments and the things,
Yeah.
you know, when are you going to sit down and actually do the work that you want to be doing? Yeah,
And I feel like that space that you're so fortunate, and I'm so happy for you that you have right now. When I try and have like me time, it's bombarded. There's just so many people and so many things constantly happening in New York that even if I want that space, there's somebody right next to me that's in their fit or in their stuff. And it's like, I believe in just, everybody has energy, and that energy is everywhere. And
Totally.
I feel like I absorbed that in New York.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Yeah, yeah, and it should just feel like well, also, yeah, it's really strange because I'm also here. I'm here with my mom
Yeah.
and my brother,
You said
who,
that.
yeah, who my
You didn't
brother.
say that here, but yeah.
Yeah, we talked earlier. Yeah, my brother grew up with me, and we were very close. And he's moved to Tasmania. He lives on
That's
this
right.
really small island off of Tasmania called Flinders Island. About 700 people live there. So he's very
Wow.
isolated. His wife was from there originally, and so they moved back there, had a kid, and he's been
Mm,
there for about 8 years now. So he just happened to be visiting and got stuck here, and so it's been like really kind of nice reconnecting with him. I mean, as tragic as this whole thing is,
yeah.
and as bad as I feel for him not being with his family right now, that has been so nice. When else ever would you ever get
Mm.
the chance to like actually like spend months with your brother,
With your
like
brother.
it's like childhood again?
I know.
We're out there like hitting golf balls into the field every once in a while, and like kind
Uh,
of going on walks together and stuff. It's really nice.
that's, yeah, I feel like I'm going to cry. Like that's, there's so much difficulty for so many people during this time,
Yeah, yeah,
but if you can find the beauty and look for ways to be free and to be more fulfilled, like you're talking about. I mean, that's the best. Like,
yeah.
I get that with my brother. In order to see my brother, well, he used to live on the West Coast for like 11 years. He lived in Portland, Oregon, but he finally lives near Boston now. And so I see him more often, but I have to like, do I have a casting job? Is a casting job going to pop up? Am I going to be turning down work? Or,
Yeah,
do I have to book out? So I have an audition to go see him. It's like this whole, even just for like 2 days.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
to just be able to be with your family, so nice.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's been like one of the two things that I've taken away from it is like, whoa, family time, reconnecting with family, so important, and also just what this place means to me and what being in nature means to me is like, whoa, that's actually like so important for my mental health, but also
Yep.
for my creativity. So I don't know what that means going forward. It's not like I'm going to move out of New York, but I do feel like I'm going to come here more often for getting away and doing writing and
Yep.
yeah. But I get all caught up in that stuff too. Like, oh, what if there's a casting and I don't want to disappoint my agents and book out, and like it's like I'm getting sick of that.
I know, because it's like you're on 24/7, like you're on call all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
It doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter if you booked the job or not. You have to act as if you are already booked. Like your time is
yeah.
theirs. It's not ours.
You're always on hold. Yeah,
Always on hold for something. Yep,
yeah,
exactly. It's
yeah,
it's a lot. I know. I'm like shaking my head thinking about it right now. I'm like,
yeah.
it's a crazy business.
Yeah, it really is. And like, and then yeah, you often ask yourself for what, too. It's like, nothing's even guaranteed.
I know.
So yeah.
And I think I was feeling when this was starting, I told you this, like, so I shared I was going to be launching my podcast and then all this happened.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, what is the point? And it felt so pointless. And I didn't care. And like I was seeing online, all these, people that look like they're being really productive. They're doing these business seminars, like acting business seminars.
Yeah.
And like to each his own. And if you want to do that, but for me, I was just like, I could care less. Like I couldn't give any less of a shit. Because it's just like, it's just like, what's happening? And like, who knows what's going to happen in this long? And I'd rather just try and be present right now.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm finding myself too, like feeling all that noise out there, just in in the classes and the things, and oh, this acting teacher's doing online classes and the thing, and it's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot. And I have so many friends that are like doing stage readings on Zoom and stuff like that, and I've been
I know.
offered these things from friends, and I'm like, I don't. That's not really gonna fulfill me. And then I've got the odd casting, and I'm like, who the
We
fuck is
talked about
casting right now? What is wrong with you? Do you not? Do you not? Where are you?
and that's I
I think
like
this
and
is a good idea.
when people are like, I know when people are like, no, but blah, blah, and like really taking active steps, and maybe they're
Yeah,
right, maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah,
my state of mind is kind of like, all right, even if you do well in an audition or whatever, I mean, it's great. It's always great to do your craft if you love it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But like, I'm like, auditions for what? We don't know when anything's going to happen, what that's going to look like,
yeah.
if that person will even be available to do it, if you fall in love with the actor, like it's just such a weird
Right,
time.
right. Like, I mean, yeah, the studio may go out of business. Who knows? Like, there's so many. Just because something has like a May 15th start date, you really think you're going to be shooting this on May
Right.
15th? Like, let's just look at the picture.
And it's like a little reality check, just a little.
I mean, I like to be optimistic too, but like, yeah,
I know. And I think it's like, it's funny because talking to people, it's like, I get wishful thinking. I get a lot of people not wanting to really take in that this is here and it's not necessarily going away right quick.
not only is it not going away, but this is a life altering moment we're going through right now. Like, there's been times where I've kind of neglected to think about that too. But if you really think about it, like, it's not going back to normal. Like, there will be a new normal. There will be a new normal, but it's not going to be what we thought it ever was. Like, it's not even going to be close to that, you know?
It's
That is
interesting.
a hard thing to comprehend, but
And yeah,
yeah,
it's funny because I spoke to a friend about that yesterday, and
yeah,
I haven't really given it much thought as to what it might look like. And I don't know if this is cynical of me.
yeah,
I want to believe that this experience will make people think and change about the way that they do things,
yeah,
about
same way. Yeah,
especially like the planet,
yeah,
how much better the earth is doing right now because of this, because us humans are not out there killing it the way we were. I like
yeah,
want people to really take that in and bring that with them forward, that we care more about the planet. But humans, I was saying to somebody yesterday, like tend to have a built-in forgetter, and
yeah,
what serves them quickly gets to the front of the line in their mind. And I just, not necessarily, but I really hope it doesn't. I hope people
yeah.
don't forget. I hope they stay connected to that. It wasn't working before, and that's kind of how we got here.
Yeah, I feel like the earth just gave us all a timeout.
I
It's just
know.
like, sit and think about what you've
I
done.
know.
You're gonna have 6 months of just sitting in your fucking house and thinking.
Think. Go to the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
But
know.
yeah, no, I feel the same.
And I
It's
hope people are thinking about it.
I do too. And I actually I don't know, yeah, I felt very positive about that aspect, that like people will hopefully people are coming together in a way that they don't normally, and like
Yep.
I think that's like kind of, I mean, especially in the States, there's like this like capitalist mentality,
Yes.
there's things like healthcare and stuff, you just feel like,
I just got
when
the
are we
chills. I
gonna,
know.
yeah, like, is this the time, where we actually realize like, oh, you know what, human lives are important, like,
Right. And this is like, yeah, different things have to be in place so we can be okay. Like the
yeah,
healthcare thing, like, yeah, I really hope that this makes an impact. Knock
yeah,
wood.
yeah, not,
It's all around you. It's great.
yeah, no shortage of wood around here.
Seriously, I love that.
Yeah,
Everything I can get my hands on to build or like restore, like wood furniture, I like
yeah,
bring it in, and I love doing it. That working
no,
with
me
my
too.
hands made me like, I only once I got got my own big girl apartment, I started working with my hands and teaching myself everything, like, you know, the wall beams and everything. I did everything myself, and I like love working with my hands. There's something so gratifying and like to the earth about it, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And what I think brings me back to all, because I build furniture as well, and
You do?
yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah.
I did
do
not know that.
fine carpentry. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to know,
Yeah.
where can I see some of that? And is there like a place that people could see that if you wanted them to?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess
Just curious.
mainly the stuff I make, I either give away or I make for my own apartment. You know, I just kind of grew up doing it. My mom does a lot of fine carpentry.
Really?
And yeah, and so like
Amazing.
we have this place out on Long Island where she grew up, and we have a shop out there. So usually, well, every single weekend I go out there, no matter
You
what.
said that when you're in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'm usually building stuff or restoring stuff. I like getting old furniture at yard sales and like redoing it and stuff.
Oh, it's the best.
You'll have to come out.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah, come work in the shop.
That's like,
Yeah.
It's funny because I love Nick Offerman. I love him.
Oh
But
man. Yeah. Big
love
fan.
him, but I don't follow. By the way, did you know that Parks and Rec is coming out with one episode during
No.
this quarantine?
Oh
April
my God.
30th.
Wow.
One episode. Yeah.
All on Zoom, I guess. or
I'm like,
something.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's all on Zoom. Like, it's about like Leslie Knope trying to do what she does, I guess. I think that's what
Yeah.
it is, like in quarantine.
That's great. What a great
So
idea.
yeah, I know. I thought that was wonderful. But yeah, so I don't follow any celebrities on Instagram or anything, but him I do because of his woodworking. I just
Yeah. Have
I
you read
always-
his book?
no.
Oh, it's so great.
What is it? Oh wait, you froze for a sec. Let's bring it back. Hold on. You're still frozen. Man, this is what it is, guys. This is quarantine, Wi-Fi connections.
Sam.
There he
Yeah.
is. Look at that. He didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave.
No. Says your internet connection is unstable, and I gotta actually apologize to everyone because yeah, the internet sucks here.
Because you're in a rural place and
Yeah.
good for you, and screw
Yeah.
everybody that has a problem with it. We're talking. We're good. It's
Great.
working. No, but what's his book? What's Nick
It's
Offerman's
called
book?
Paddle Your Own Canoe, and it really connected with me. He also grew up on a farm, and his thing is like everybody should build their own canoe.
Mm.
And that's like his metaphor for life. You actually build your own fucking canoe, because the things you'll learn about yourself in doing that is immense.
I love that.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna read it.
I find what connects me to him and to also doing things like woodworking, like you're talking about,
Yeah.
is like, yeah, acting like, and any of the stuff we're doing, it's like you put yourself on tape, you work an entire week, you work on this thing, and then you don't hear anything. And so like, you get the, you think, well, maybe I guess I'm improving or whatever, but
Right.
you don't get to like look at this thing you built and have
There's
the
a whole-
satisfaction.
There's a whole career built on the ground that is just, you never see it until at moments it reaches sky level and you can look up. But those are moments. Like most of the work
Fleeting.
is bricked down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I guess casting would be the same almost, or well, no, you get to look at a commercial or something and say, hey, I brought
but
those people into it.
You know what's so funny is that like, so when I've worked on films and stuff, it's cool when the film has come out that I saw,
Yeah.
I was there through the casting, of those roles. And one film that I worked on, which was like, I won't say the director's name, but it's a big time director. And this like never happens. And it was a blockbuster movie. Two actors, he offered the role in the room. He went, you guys want to make a movie? And it was like I was like so choked up because it was like, this is a big Hollywood guy and big Hollywood movie. And he loved them. And he was like,
Wow.
it's such a beautiful moment. And then to see that they were in the film, it's like, hell yeah.
And he wasn't like looking at their Instagram following and just based on that.
Right?
You have enough followers. Do you want to make a movie?
All right, she's good. I think let's bring her in. She'll bring publicity. We're going to take her. Forget the talent. She's got no timing, but she looks good. She's got Instagram.
It's a whole other.
It's a whole other
get
piece.
into that.
I know, but you know what? Because all right, for those of you listening and watching, like, yeah, that can be a piece of this business. But look, it doesn't have to be. You and I, you're a filmmaker. We do what we do, and we don't think like that. And
I feel like the people I want to work with don't think like that either. You know, they'll take the project and the art over that.
Yes, and that's and I feel like you can feel that, and it's funny because of people to reach out to. You're one of the first people I reached out to. Like, you always have you always have such a nice energy, and you're somebody that I want people to hear and listen to and connect with. You're a good person for that.
Hopefully they're still tuning in.
Yeah, sorry if we suck and you ain't having it. We tried, man.
Maybe
it's
I'm
quarantine.
Really boring. They're like, I don't want to hear about your fucking maple syrup you're making up there. Which we actually are.
No!
Yes.
Can I come visit? Okay, one day.
You can.
I would love to. I'm not even kidding. That sounds like
visit.
heaven.
Yeah.
Like on a farm, and the woodworking, like.
Yeah.
Man.
Come visit.
Wow.
Well, maple syrup's done now, but that was keeping me busy for a while. You're boiling.
That's so cool.
You get about 3 weeks during the year where you can actually make it.
It's like, that's really just.
I'll give you a bottle. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. It's just 3 weeks. It's like cold nights, warm days. That's when it comes out.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Dude, we got to work together one day.
Yeah, I know. I want to make a movie up here, actually.
I'm like, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. And here's the thing is what I've been thinking more about is like the people that, for me, that I want to work with, it kind of comes together when I put it out there. Everybody's got different resources. I feel like if I don't put like the cart before the horse and I just come up with the idea and build it, if I build it, they will come kind of thing.
Oh man, Field of Dreams.
I want to try and live that and make magic.
Yeah. No, that's a good place to live from. It really is. Yeah, I've in the past I've worked with people. I've done that thing where you've like worked with people because you're like, okay, this is a good opportunity. I don't kind of a dick, but let's work, because it'll do good things for me.
Right.
And I've done that. I'm done putting that kind of energy into this. I just want to work with friends now. And I make all these short films and it's always just with my best friends. And like, we have such a great time doing it, and I can make them, we can make them for cheap too. And, cause most people, they just want to work on them and want to do something cool for the weekend. And it's either that or don't make something. So we make things and just love that.
Great times with great people. It makes for great work. I really think so. It's the energy that comes out of that. That's awesome.
I really feel like that's like the one thing, indie film has going for it. You don't have like the
overhead of
58-year-old grizzled grips who are just don't even know what you're making, and the Teamsters, it's like all that stuff is not conducive to like good work. I think like, certainly how I like to direct as well is like just get input from everybody. Like, is this scene working? What do you think? And I try not to attach any ego to it, so like, I feel like that's the one thing you got with indie film is the collaboration.
I was just saying collaborative, which I think is the best thing. Like, I can remember like there were a couple times where I like in class had a scene partner and they would tell me, you need to do it like this. Like there was no like we explored the scene or like, but they told me how I had to act, and it was like it was just like the grimiest, worst feeling.
Did you do it in an Australian accent? Because I really feel like that feel like feeding my character.
And I'm like, oh, I've had wow, and I'm just like, and and then I'm like, but I want to respect that that's their vision too, but to always have room for both to kind of meet halfway, anyway, you get it.
Yeah.
So that's how you direct?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's like that's how I like to work. I also have been into shooting multicam, so that's why I mean, right now anyway, just like budget wise, I shoot a lot on like Sony's because like you can kind of get a bunch of them, just because a lot of friends have them and I've
Yeah.
got one or I've got two. And so I just set up multicams and not always even have an operator on the
Yeah.
cameras, but just have them there just to get something. Because when I get to the edit room, I sync them all, and one may be out of focus, one may not work, but then one of them does, and it just I think like I like working in a way that respects the actors as well, like more than like being. I mean, I'm pretty technically minded as well, but like not in like a technical is the only thing, So so I like to give actors the freedom, and so having multiple cameras helps with that.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So these
it's not being so stuck to the script. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's wonderful. I always say that, like, when I'm like, whether I'm teaching or even when I'm casting and running a session, like, people are so on the words to be exact that it kills me, because I, as an actor, I get that can throw you, and you want it to be right. But whenever I try and do it right and do it perfect, it's
death.
Never exactly. I'm dead in the water, because I'm not present. I'm not feeling. I'm completely distracted by doing it right.
Yeah, and what is right? Like I struggle with that so much.
I know,
especially when I get in these, not so much with my own work, because then I'm kind of more free with it. But when I get in the room for some fucking cop show or something, and I'm like, okay, I've seen a million of these. I know this guy. This is what they want. And then I just totally take the authenticity out of it. Which is
because it becomes raw. Like,
yeah. Then I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, or I'm just playing something that I've seen a million times.
Right. It's funny. I was teaching class, a Zoom class last night, and one of my students, he did a scene with Bruce Banner and Natasha, and from Marvel stuff, and he was so worried about. So I directed him, and I told him whatever I said, and he went like, "Oh," and he's like, "I was so set with the way I saw him do it that like I was trying to do it like him," and he's like, "I wasn't feeling anything," and I'm like, think about what it's going through. He's the Hulk. He feels shame and blah, blah. And he was like, it was totally different. But it's like, I know I can do that. Like, that's what it looks like. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because it happened to be the Hulk, which is this guy who transforms, like, wow, the metaphors are just.
Woo! That's really funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
He didn't get really angry, did he?
He was like,
just started throwing shit.
I hate being wrong. And I was like, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. It's just your take. It's just your take.
Yeah.
And then when are we going to see these films? So you're writing, so that's going forward, but we're going to see what's what. But what about your films? So you've been working on them more now?
Yeah. Well, I'm always making shorts. I mean, I've got, I've done so many over the years. Wait a minute.
And I was going to say, and where are they? Where can people see them? Where can we?
Hold on. Somehow my computer's not getting power. Why is that? Oh, now it is all of a sudden. It was just saying running low. Okay. I'm back.
It's okay. Hey-o, welcome back.
Hey-o.
Hey, it's Clem McIntosh. Hey.
So I've got a bunch online. I've got a few doing the festival circuit right now, which they've gotten into a bunch of festivals, but now it's kind of up in the air with most of them.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, well,
like everything
got
else.
in, but we're just gonna take your money.
That's a big.
Here's some laurels.
You got. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, you got in. That's good
Yeah.
for right now.
Yeah, except for this one festival which I went to last year as well with the project, called Oxford Film Festival, which I would recommend to anybody. I love those guys.
Yeah,
It's just great. They put you up in a hotel and like it's like really well run. It's in
that's wonderful.
Mississippi.
So I was gonna say,
Um,
where's it at, Mr. Okay, cool.
yeah, so I have a couple of films in there this year, and it was are actually already supposed to happen about a month ago, and then they've just decided to make it. They've kind of made it this virtual festival, and they've just done an amazing job. And they're like giving filmmakers half the proceeds that they get from the sales and the
Wow,
ticket sales, which is really cool. And
that's
so
beautiful.
yeah, so that's going to go from like May through like June, I guess. And like, there'll be my film blocks are in 2 separate weeks, and then they do Q&As on Zoom.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, so that's really cool. And I'm
When it
looking
so
forward
wait,
to that.
so when is this?
I believe the first one is May 15th through May 21st. And then that's my film, I'm Not Spock, about Leonard Nimoy
Is
comedy.
it?
Yeah. And
Wow.
then,
My dad was a Trekkie. I grew up. My dad is a total Trekkie.
oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
well, he might
I
enjoy it.
know. So I'm
Yeah, it's a
like,
period piece. We shot it
that's
to look like the 70s, and it's yeah.
no way.
Yeah, I played Leonard. Got
For
my hair
real?
cut. Yeah,
Okay, can
whole
we
thing.
see this? So during that festival
Yeah,
time, tell us
yeah,
where we
yeah.
can see this.
Okay. I will send you some links.
And tell us. I'll put the links once I put this bad boy up. But go ahead and tell us if, or do you not know it off the top of your head, which is totally
I
okay
don't know
too.
the links off the top of my head. No, they just kind of
Idiot.
sent me a smattering.
Okay, you'll send it to me and I'll
Yeah,
put it up with our episode, so people
yeah.
can take a look at that. That's awesome.
Sounds good. Yeah, and then the other one
Yeah.
is it's called Steve of the Antarctic, and it's like a
Okay.
kind of a 4-minute sketch I shot in Antarctica. With
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I was
probably
gonna,
the only narrative short to ever be shot in Antarctica.
that is so cool.
Yeah.
Specifically, and you went there to shoot the short, or were you like there
Well,
and you're like inspired?
I was there, and then I brought my friend Eden, who's like my creative partner, who's based in Australia.
Hmm.
I My aunt and uncle work on the ship. This is a long story short. They work on this ship down there that they're like naturalists on, so they like show
Oh.
people wildlife and stuff like that.
Hmm.
They're these small kind of cruise ships, and every once in a while they get an extra spot, and they can get like a family, somebody of the family on. And so they got me
Wow.
on, and then I got my friend Eden on, and we met down there, and then we were on this cruise for like 18 days, and then came up with this. We knew that we wanted to shoot something.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It wasn't until like the last day that we finally did it, and yeah,
And
made
that's
this
the
little film.
best.
Yeah,
And we could see that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
you'll send me how we can see that.
yeah. I can give you their links. I mean, I could probably
Yeah.
just send you a separate
Yeah,
link.
you'll send me all the info so that way people can, if you want. I mean,
Sure.
you could keep your
Yeah,
stuff
why not?
private the rest of your life if you want, but I think people would
I
want to see
mean,
it.
I am pretty good at not showing people my work. I'm a pro at that.
Isn't it funny? It's like the
Oh,
leap of like doing it, but then like putting it out into the world.
finishing it so
Finish it.
hard. I look
That's
back at
the
all my
hardest.
things, and it's like, I still need to just do the music on that, and that song needs to change. And until then, people can't see it.
It's
And
that
it's like,
perfectionism.
yeah, I know, it's killer.
Because I told you, I almost was not going to do this
Yeah,
podcast because I had it set for, before Corona. And now it's like my music's not ready yet and blah, blah, blah. Because I was like, I'm out of life. I'm not doing it.
yeah,
And now it's not going to be perfect. Look, we're going to run out of internet sometimes.
yeah.
But you know what? It's better. I feel like I'm allowing it today to be good enough exactly as it is.
Do you have to like switch your music now? It's like less upbeat now that it's a Corona show.
It's really funny because like it was going to be like this like chill like
It's not chill anymore.
like somebody smoking a blunt in a car driving. That was my intro music, and now it's like I'm pretty sure I'm going with like news bulletin, like emergency broadcasting system sounds. Pretty sure.
Uh,
I was like, totally different
That's
vibe.
yeah, just you're rolling with it though. I love it.
What else can we do, right?
Yeah.
No control over any of it. But I gotta say, like,
Yeah.
when I'm left to myself, and I don't even go out of the apartment that much. Man, like talking to you and doing like this, connecting with other creatives and people that I like generally,
Yeah.
it makes me. It's just makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah. No, I
It's
agree
really
actually.
nice.
Yeah. I've I've like I've kind of been like I get a little overwhelmed by the Zoom. I think we were talking about
Yes,
that earlier. You know, when you get like more than like three people for
it's a
me,
lot.
it's kind of like that's why I don't go to bars and stuff either. I'm kind of old manish like
I,
that. I just get fucking overwhelmed by like too
I
much sensory. I just feel too much. I'm just like ah.
and I'm very like aware of myself and like how much conversation I'm having and
Yeah,
with too many people.
yeah. And I feel like that with the Zoom. You know, I was having a Zoom with like 9 other actors the other
You
day. And
said
it's just like,
that,
ah! Like
and
I
that's
oh
not
yeah.
nine other people. That's 9 other
No,
actors. That's a
yeah,
whole lot of energy.
yeah. Doing impressions and things, you know, and I'm just like, I can't,
You're like out.
I'm off. And the internet's fading. Oh, I gotta go. Yeah. Kind of
Really, I
crumpling up
know.
newspaper, kind of making
What?
that static
What?
sound. Yeah.
And you just freeze yourself. You're like,
Yeah. Totally. And you're like,
so great.
yeah,
I'm
just
gonna
kick out the power cord.
what? Done.
That's a good method. I'm
I
gonna
know.
employ that now.
I'm like,
That's
oh,
great.
I try not to lie, but that's gonna be a great one to use.
Wow, that's great.
If somebody's interview is terrible and they're horrible to talk to, I'm just gonna be like, but that was great.
Hey, I'll
Done.
know if you do that now. So,
So we're wrapping up now. No, I'm so glad we got to hang out and talk.
yeah,
And
me
I
too.
know
It's been
we
great.
could talk and talk, but just in
Yeah,
talking to other people like us in this field and creative, like I feel like people are really alone, like, and don't hear a lot of other creatives and in whatever capacity, like don't hear from them. People aren't connecting right now and the industry's dead. So there's all this
yeah,
unknown and uncertainty and loneliness. And whenever I've
yeah.
spoken to other people, like it makes me so happy you're with your family. Not
Mm,
everybody is, and people are alone
yeah, I
and they're like
know.
starving for that muscle.
Yeah, yeah. Because for me, well, I'm pretty transparent about like having depression issues and stuff in the past, and like I
I didn't know that.
I recently realized like if I have if I'm not being creative, I go crazy. Like it really, and so yeah, so I can imagine like, I mean, for me, especially coming from the woods,
Yep.
being stuck in my apartment right now, like I would go crazy. It would not work.
And that's like, and to be
Yeah,
transparent as well, I've struggled with depression,
yeah,
and it's, I finally like got out of my struggles and was ready to finally do something. My podcast that was going to be meant to help people, and I was
yeah,
excited about it, and I was getting ready. And then when this happened, I just got so depressed. I got so
yeah,
down. And while being creative would totally help that, it can be so paralyzing that I can't get myself to do the creative.
yeah. Well, it's really hard when you got, you have like wind in your sails. You're just like, yes, like this is what I'm doing.
Right.
Boom, boom, and then and your
Exactly.
ship is sunk, and it's like because of this thing. And
And
yeah, I think you got to honor the time it takes to recover from that too,
and
'cause it
that's,
takes time.
it
Yeah.
takes time. And I think that that's what I was telling you. Like it was in just talking to like 2 other actor friends that felt exactly like I did, that even just connecting and then being there for them and listening, and it got me out of myself, and it made me realize, oh crap, I was feeling like crap, they're feeling like crap, and none of us knew each other were feeling like crap and having such a hard time. And
Yeah.
that's what made me start to feel well enough to go, you know what? This serves a purpose right now. It doesn't have to be perfect, this podcast, but if it will connect creatives and whatever you do, whatever humans with other humans, and they know they're not alone with what they're going through, that, yeah, we're feeling it too. Like, I just thought it was important to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, I feel like there is this pressure to be, like, oh, you got all this free time, you can finally get to all
Right.
these things. Like, but like, I happen to be feeling creatively jazzed right now, which
I'm
is
so happy
feels
about that.
good, but that's maybe not always going to be the case. It just
Yeah.
so happens. But yeah, I feel like you're allowed to feel like crap right now, and you're allowed to not do anything. We're going through a crazy, life-altering time. It's a pandemic.
Yep. It's
This
pandemic.
never happened.
Ever.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
And to
But
honor
it's
that.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay,
I was trying to fight it, and I was then feeling worse about myself because I was in such a bad place. And then I was mad at myself that I couldn't get out of the bad place, and I was fighting it.
Yeah.
And I should know by now, because I've learned that I have to allow things to be sometimes, and I don't necessarily control the timeline. And as soon as I stopped fighting it and I let it work through me, I got out the other end, and now I'm here and connecting with you and people. And I think so I'll just say that for me, I've been told to put the bad away, to stop being hard on myself for things that are kind of out of my control,
Yeah. It's not in anybody's control right now, like what happens. So I just think it's like we were kind of touching on before, it's a good time to kind of connect with yourself and ask yourself questions and, work on yourself. And it's a great time to be doing that stuff. Like, when else do we ever get that much time on our own, So the more you can kind of stay out of the news cycle or off social media or, out of Netflix, and like just sit with yourself, which I've been trying to do. I happened to actually take, like, about a week before I came here, I took a TM meditation class.
I've heard of that.
Always
I've never
wanted
done
to
it.
take.
Yes. It's funny. Me too. For like years, I've never done it.
Yeah. And
how was it?
It's like, it's life changing. It's great.
Really?
I've been doing it every day, and it's like really kind of kept me sane, or just kind of help keep me grounded through all this. It's you do it twice a day and for 20 minutes each time, and it's just having some kind of a routine has been super helpful.
The routine is super. For me, it's crucial. It's like, I'm still working on it. It's just, some days are better than others. Yeah.
I mean, this is like the best. Like, it feels like I'm wearing a suit right now. This is.
I'm like, it's amazing. This gave me a reason to put on mascara. I'm like, done, golden. Like, this pajamas going on under this framing. But other than that,
you think we're all going to be slobs after this? No,
I wonder if it's just going to be okay to just look terrible.
Yeah, I got a mustard stain. Who cares? It's okay.
I've been through worse.
Right. Sweatpants. Everybody's just like walking around in sweatpants from now on.
Who wants to wear jeans again? I don't. Cutting off your waist and crap.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've also like kind of tried to wrap my head around, like, stocks and stuff. Like, not that I even have much money to put towards it, but I'm like, oh, this would be an interesting time to think about that stuff. So I've been like kind of educating myself on that.
It's smart. A friend of mine is like all on top of that. I'm like, I have whatever investment I have, and I'm like, I won't look at it. I don't want to know. It's probably all gone. And I'm just going to let it go, because it will be what it's going to be for the long haul, Yeah,
I feel like that's the way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it will probably crash again. I mean, how could it not?
Exactly. This is life.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about like, Russell Athletics, they make sweatpants.
Stock is definitely gonna.
Toilet paper companies.
I'm like,
wow, they are killing it right now.
Charmin.
Yeah.
Done. It's really true.
Yeah.
So, moving forward, is there anything that you like that would make you happy to picture, or that you would want for yourself moving forward? Like, if you could see it be different, or what do you want to take away from this? if
Hmm.
anything?
Um, well, as I was saying, for me personally, it's like the importance of taking time for myself to let myself be wrapped up less in kind of the day-to-day things that come in when I'm in New York. So that would be spending more time here if I
Yeah.
can. Ultimately, that would be great. You know, if I
With
say this
me,
show
because
gets picked up
I'm
or
so
something.
going.
Yeah,
I'm
well, you
so
were
coming for a
invited.
visit.
But yeah, ultimately that'd be great. You know, I could, say this show gets picked up or any of the things I'm doing,
Yeah.
to spend more time here and do things more virtually. That would be great. Uh,
Yeah.
that's one thing I've taken away from it. The other thing is maybe the industry will change in a way that actually benefits like independent producers like myself, who are used to wearing a lot of hats and making things with a crew of 5 people or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, yeah, there might be a change towards more economically sensible work,
Yeah.
I guess. So I'm kind of hoping that there is kind of this like boom that happens towards that. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Who
It's
knows?
hard to
I know.
say, but at the same time that I'm making this epic TV pilot. So yeah, I guess I'm
Hell yeah.
I've got
Hell
things
yeah.
on both. If it goes this way, I'm okay, hopefully, and then yeah. But
It's
who
only
knows? It's
human. It's
all
only human to
unknown.
go to both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
So on Big Face, there's a segment called "The Feather in Your Cap,"
Hmm.
and so I'll explain that a feather in your cap, we define it as a success, an achievement, or something you've learned that may help you in the future. And so every week, I kind of ask my guests to think if they have a feather in their cap, that's something they've learned, something that they can pass on and share with the listeners, the viewers, that may help them, that they could put a feather in their cap.
Hmm. So about what though? That's the
Anything,
question.
life,
Hmm.
you, anything that comes to mind.
Feather in the cap. Um.
You've already said like a bazillion during our talk.
Yeah. Well. Um. I guess. Well, I think for a long time I was trying to be somebody I wasn't, I think, like when I first moved to New York.
Mm.
Uh, and it took me a long time to, first off, embrace. For a long time, you never even knew I was a gaffer until like
I
I
know.
told you the other day.
I had no idea.
I've been hiding that from people for a long time just because I thought like, oh, it's gonna
Yeah,
interfere with acting. People are going to start thinking I'm a crew guy, not an actor, not serious,
I get
even
it.
though I've been doing it all my life. And it took me a real long time to get to the point where I actually embraced that as like a really good thing because
Mm,
I do feel now it actually is, and it really helps me out as an actor as well, and kind of makes me comfortable on sets and has given me a knowledge for directing as well, like a
of
technical
course.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so there's that as well as, and then in life, just embracing the fact of just embracing my roots. Like where like these are my roots, where I'm here.
Yeah.
It's completely different to my life in New York. And I think coming back here, as I mentioned before, is like really like reconnected me to my roots and like how important
Mm,
that stuff is and how your individuality is more important than anything or trying to kind of fit into a box of what you think people want to see either as an
mm.
actor or as a person. um yeah, I think for a long time I was trying to like be something. It took well into my 30s for me to finally kind of let that go and like finally like be myself more anyway and be authentic. So yeah, so that's I guess what I would say is like just try to find who you are that way, and don't pretend to be anybody else or get pressured into that. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm like, I just really took that in,
Oh.
and that's beautiful, and it definitely applies to me.
Yeah.
And I won't rephrase your words, but for me, that resonates as being okay with every single part of myself and embracing it
Mm.
and loving it and honoring it, and it's all me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just how that's a beautiful thing you just shared. That's a wonderful feather in
Oh,
anybody's
thanks,
cap.
Sammy.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Cool.
I'm so glad we got to hang and talk
Me
today.
too.
This
God.
is
And it won't be the
wonderful.
last time.
No, let's,
Don't make the next time we hang out be in some fleeting moment where we're at,
yeah.
you know, one on one and I see you walking from the casting room and I'm like, hey.
Yeah. No, let's be in touch and through
Okay.
this. Like this is it's so lovely to connect.
Likewise.
Thank
And we
you.
can make projects together.
Yes.
You know,
We're gonna
you
future
write, I write. You make.
seriously, we can.
Yeah.
The future holds good things. It feels like that. Maybe
Yeah.
this is some of what's going to
I'm feeling
change.
very positive about it too. Actually.
Yeah, I really, and thank you, because it's infectious. I feel very
Yeah.
moved and uplifted. So thank you.
Oh, likewise. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Talk.
So, the hell else did I want to say? I'm so happy you were here. So everybody, thank you for listening. And Clem McIntosh, sir, thank you so much for being my guest here and
Been an
for talking to
absolute
everybody.
pleasure.
And so thank you so much. Where can people find you, keep up with you, see your work? You'll send me links to the films, which is great. But
Yeah.
the Instagram handle or anything, if people want to kind of follow what you're doing.
Well, my Instagram is at Uldra Films. That's ULDRA Films.
Great.
And not Ultra. It's named after my
Good to know.
grandfather's boat.
Boat?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he sailed around the world back in the 20s and wrote for 6 years. And that was his boat.
He wrote?
And he wrote a book about it. Yeah.
You're just sharing this now? Wow. We got to do a whole other episode.
Yeah, well.
That's amazing. Wow.
So I named my production company after his boat.
That's beautiful.
So
wonderful.
At Uldra Films, I think my Vimeo is vimeo.com/Clem McIntosh or Clem.McIntosh, MCINTOSH. But I can share do you have a linky thing that you can send people, or is it
like on here right now?
Work?
I'm like, I'm not great with Zoom. I could try, but probably not. But people, when I put this podcast out, you will have his info attached to every one of the links, so you can find all of his wonderful
and then
stuff.
my website is www.uldrafilms.com. Yeah.
So wonderful.
You can find most of my films on there and trailers and things, and my photos and stuff.
I can't wait. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I wish people could clap, because I'm like, yay!
Oh, Sammy.
Thank you so much. Seriously, we're all very lucky. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Big Face with my man Clem. It's been a pleasure being here, and I hope this helps you the way it's helped me. And thank you so much again, Clem.
Very welcome. Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you.